Hey guys, and welcome back to No Longer Hidden. My name is Shayna Marie, and I am back with another word from the Lord. Before you guys get started, remember to always take me back to God, take this message back to God, and also after this video and before this video, see God's face and ask God if this word is for you, and for Him to give you further instructions on what you need to do with this word. Okay, guys, so the title of this word is going to be called When You Give God Your Yes. Now, as you guys know, I was on an assignment. Now that this assignment is over, God has given me a lot of revelation on a lot of things, and I've shared these things with you guys. Now, this particular thing that God has shared with me, when people give God their yes, He kind of gave me an insight on, it gave me insight on what people really look for when they tell God yes. Okay? For some people, they may know what they have to do, where they know they have to go through the pruning, the processing, and the plucking, but some people don't really know the meaning of those things. And then you have some people who think as soon as they give God their yes, that everything that He has for you is going to come to pass right away. People think that when they give God their yes, that they are going to live this extravagant life. And they don't understand that there is a process that you have to go through, and that you also, you're going to have to suffer. You're going to have to go through a lot of things, but there's going to be a cleaning that God is going to do within you, within your spirit first. So He has to make sure that He cleans you up first before He knows that He can trust you with the blessing, and trust you with the mantle as well. It's not even just about the blessings, it's about the mantle, it's about the fruit that you carry. It's all about that. It's more than just getting the material things. It's more than just being married. It's more than just getting that house and that career. It's way more than that. And it's walking with God teaches you how to be selfless. And I think a lot of people don't understand that as well. Walking with God is not easy, but it is worth it. Walking with God is not fun in the beginning, but the peace that comes with it when God cleans us up is beyond words. It's a blessing. Okay, so we're gonna go right into it. God gave me this revelation actually about why some people may have to go through. Okay, guys, my son came. I apologize. So we're gonna jump right into this revelation that God gave me. When we give God our yes, and things start to fall apart, a lot of people think that it's in the beginning when they give God their yes and they see things falling apart, they think they've made a big mistake. No, you haven't. Everything that you see falling apart are things that were slowly going to take you out prematurely, or things that were going to really bring you even further away from God. Okay? So you may be thinking, I gave God my yes and everything is falling apart. My marriage is falling apart. My life is falling apart. I lost my career. I lost my friends. My family's turned their back on me. Ask God to give you the eyes to see within the chaos. Because to you, it may look like, okay, my life is falling apart. But God is removing the very things that will cause you harm, and that will cause you to take you out even further out. That will take you even further out of the will of God. The revelation that God gave me was a beautiful thing, and it was the revelation of a parent cleaning a child's room versus the child cleaning the room. Okay, so you are going to be the child, and God is going to be, of course, the parent cleaning the room. Okay, and what God gave me is when a child will clean the room, they will clean what they will see that's out of place, and they'll put it back in place. Some things they will just stuff it under the bed, or they'll put it in a closet, and that's what some of us did before we gave God our yes. Some of those things, some of the hurt, some of the pain, even some of the desires that God has given us that that maybe people have laughed at, and maybe people have said, no, you're not going to make any money with those things, or you're not going to really do good with that. And you kind of just tuck those things away. God is going to start bringing those things out. Even the things that cause a lot of hurt in your life. Everything that caused a lot of hurt in your life, trauma, anything that you have gone through in your life, guys, there's a lot of distractions. And I prayed, and I'm just going to pray again. Holy Spirit, Jesus of Nazareth, God in heaven, I rebuke, renounce, and denounce every distraction, every tactic, every plot, every scheme of the enemy right now that is stopping me from trying to get this word across to those of your children that may see this video, that are really trying to hold on after they have given you their yes, Lord. I ask you, Holy Spirit, that you will continue to fill me with all of you and none of me, so that I can help those that you have appointed to see this video in this hour. In Jesus' mighty name I pray, amen. Guys, please excuse me. My mind, I promise you, I prayed before I started, and it's like distractions everywhere. So it's just like when a child cleans their room, things that they don't want to deal with at the moment. Maybe even dirty laundry, but they don't want to deal with it. They'll put it under the bed. Toys they don't really feel like putting back in the right place, they'll throw it under the bed. And that's something that we did before we gave God our yes. Certain things that we didn't want to deal with, we just placed it in places, or we covered it up with a smile. And us covering it up with a smile is us throwing it in that closet or putting it under that bed. Okay, so that's something that God gave me. Now here's the difference between when we clean up and when God cleans up. When God cleans up, he's gonna go under that bed, and he's going to take out everything, and he's going to go in that closet, he's going to take out everything. And then when it's all presented in front of you, to you it looks like a big mess. And yes, it is a big mess, but God knows what he's doing. He's about to start getting rid of those things. Some of those clothes that were under that bed or even in that closet no longer fit you, and that goes with certain people and certain things that you may be holding on to. God's like, those things no longer serve you. You need to release those things to me. Give those things to me, so that we can make room for the things that fit you. We can make room for the people that actually serve a purpose in your life, that are going to help bring you closer to God and help you to stay on track with God. Of course, it is the main thing is your responsibility, of course, to stay on track. But that doesn't mean that you won't need certain people in your life to help you stay on track, to stay in position. Okay, we don't need to be isolated for the rest of our lives when we walk with Christ. And yes, our relationship with Christ is very important, but God knows when we need someone at a certain time and a certain moment in our lives, and he will bring those people, but we must have to make room for those people in our lives. So when a child is cleaning their room, it may take them 15-20 minutes. Cool, boom. But when a parent cleans it up, that child's like, hold on, why is it taking my mom or my dad so long to clean the room that only takes me 15-20 minutes? And that's the same thing with you. You may be wondering, okay, God, usually when I feel like this, or usually it shouldn't take this long, right, Lord? Like, I gave you my yes. I'm going to church. It's been months. It's some of you, it may be even years. It's been years I've been going to church. Why is it I don't see the fruits of my labor? Why is it that these blessings aren't coming? It's like God is saying it's not just about the time. It's not just about what you've done, but it's the healing that you have to do. It's the processing and the pruning and the plucking that you have to go through. And God has to make sure that he removes the very things out of your lives that are going to he's going to make sure that when these things are removed, that you will be a great steward. So in a sense, God has to make sure that you have the right heart posture and you have the space to really steward what he has for you. And again, it's not just about physical blessings. It's also about the mantle. It's always about the mantle. We are all disciples of Christ, and it's all about the mantle. It's all about what God has called us to do. Are we strong enough? Because really and truly, it doesn't matter about the car. It doesn't matter about the house. It doesn't matter about the marriage. It's not to say that those things aren't important, but we have to learn and understand and really look at the big picture. When we start walking in our authority and we know who God has called us to be, there's always going to be a fight. Are you equipped enough to fight these things? Are you equipped enough to see and to be able to discern what is in front of you? Are you going to crush? Are you going to crumble? Are you going to fall? Are you going to be like, God, why? I gave you my yes. Why is this happening? Or are you going to see the bigger picture and say, okay, Lord, I understand what this is, and automatically start fasting, start praying, start rebuking, and learning how to fight in the spirit? That is more important than the physical things. That is more important than the things that you've lost. And everything that you've lost, you already know that God is going to restore those things, and it's going to be way better than what you had. Okay? So the longer it takes, God, the question you should be asking is, Lord, what is in me that still needs healing? What is in me that still needs cleaning up? Why it seems like it's taking so long? Okay? Those are some of the questions. Not all the time. Sometimes there just may be some where God is teaching you how to be patient. Within this process, when you give God your yes, you have to learn to be patient, because certain things have to take place in order for God to get his glory. Okay? That's also another thing that a lot of people fail to understand, fail to realize, fail to even recognize. Okay? So remember, we always talk about the pruning, the plucking, and the processing. Okay? And a lot of people don't understand what it is. We hear about it, but we don't understand what it is. Like, Lord, what is that? And so we're going to start off with pruning. Pruning is a symbolic representation of a spiritual growth and refinement. And in the Greek Strong's Concordance, it means to cleanse. Okay? Just a heads up, those of you who look up numbers in the Strong's Concordance, you can actually look up words in the Strong's Concordance as well. So if you hear a word or you don't understand what a word means, if you want to know the biblical meaning of it, or even if you want to know if that word is in the Bible so it can lead you to Bible verses, you can always look it up in the Strong's Concordance. Okay? And the plucking is the act of pulling and removing something, often with a sudden force. So some of you, like I said in the beginning, people may just be dropping out of your lives like flies. Some things may be snatched away from you out of nowhere once you have given God your yes. And this is why. Okay? And it says examples of often use pluck to symbolize severing ties with something or someone harmful or destructive, or taking something or someone out of a difficult situation. So sometimes you may not even know that God has taken you out of situations that could have taken you clean out. Let's just be real. Okay? Taking you clean out. All right? Processing. Processing is the ongoing development and formation of individuals, like the development of character and faith as they journey towards spiritual maturity. I put spiritual maturity. Walking with God, when you give God your yes, certain things that you used to find interesting, you may no longer have interest in. Certain things you may desire, which you will learn later on the line, where fleshly desires are no longer a desire of yours. You're going to slowly start taking on the desires of the Holy Spirit. Okay? That's pretty much something that you will slowly and gradually take on. Now, the Bible verse that God had led me to to back up everything that we've just spoken about is John 15. And John 15 is the vine and the branches. And it says, I am the true vine, and the Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire, and burned. If you remain in me, and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I have told you this so that my Father's commands, so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends if you do what I command. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything that I learned from my Father I have made known to you. You do not choose me, but I choose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit that will last, and so that whatever you ask in my name, the Father will give you. This is my command: love each other. Now, before we go, and I'm almost done, I just want to say this: remain, no matter how it may look, remain close to God. Stay at the Lord's feet. Though it may not look like the blessings are near, they're close. Though it may not look like the plucking, the pruning, and the processing may not be over, the ending of that may be close, but you still, if I can be honest with you, you still will have to go through the pruning, the plucking, the processing in every level that God takes you. There's some kind of pruning, plucking, and processing, but of course the first initial process, pruning and plucking, is never going to feel good. But what I will say is continue to allow God to be, how can I say it? I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts every branch in me. So stay close to God. He is the gardener, while we are the vines, and things that, the branches that start to grow and bear fruit are because of God. Allow those branches to grow. Allow those fruit to bear, so that we can be a great representation of who God really is. Though it may hurt, though it may sting, though it may not make sense, continue to give God your yes. Continue to do what God has called you to do. Continue to have radical obedience. Continue to pray, even with tears in your eyes. And if you don't have a prayer to pray, that's okay. That's okay. Ask God to help you and give you the words to pray. Sometimes you just have to rest. But even if you don't have words to pray, just pray for protection. And pray that God will, as you sleep, that God will cover your mind. Always just pray for protection. Always pray that you will have the eyes and the ears to see the messages and the miracle signs and wonders that God may give you throughout the day. Always pray and ask God to guard your heart, your ears, and your eye gates. Always pray a prayer of protection over you in such a vulnerable state. It is very crucial, very vital to the beginning stages of your walk, and throughout your entire walk with Christ, regardless. Pray these prayers even if you may not have anything to pray, and stay at his feet. And some of you may be wondering, like, how do I stay at his feet? Continue to pray. Continue to talk to him. He is that best friend that you're going to need. And though God may not answer in the way that you're so used to, because we're so used to human reactions, I should say, God may speak to you in a way that's going to be so beautiful that it's going to blow your mind. And the way that God may respond to you may cause you to slowly receive his peace, that you will forget all of what you lost and start focusing on God. And the more you focus on God, I wouldn't say that it will be easier. It will be easier. It will be the pain will go away a little bit quicker, because you're more focusing on God and not focusing on what you lost and who you lost and how you feel. Allow God to remove your emotions that are causing you to move up and down, that are causing you to be a little lukewarm sometimes, that are causing you to straddle the fence, if you will. Ask God to remove those emotions so that you can really stay focused and listen and be attentive to what he's really saying to you in this hour. Okay? You guys take the time and read John 15 for yourselves, and allow God to really minister to you and give you a further revelation as to what he may be trying to say to you in this journey, on this journey that you are on at this moment. I want to say congratulations for giving God your yes, though you may be in the process of losing everything, and it may hurt, and you may be new to this. I want to say keep pushing, keep facing everything that you need to face, keep allowing God to clean up that room and clean up that space, and also to get rid of that stench because of the things that were hidden. Like when kids hide things under the bed and in the closet, it may kind of smell. Let God remove that stench that you may have carried, that you may not even know, and not a physical stench, but a spiritual stench. Allow God to remove it. Allow God to really cleanse you. Okay? I hope that this blessed someone. I hope that this encouraged someone to just keep pushing, keep allowing God to remove the very things out of your life. And don't blame God. God didn't put those things there. You did. You did. And he's just a loving Father that he wants to clean those things up for you. He wants to remove those things so that he can bless you with the very things that he has for you. Okay? I love you guys with the love of the Lord, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Until next time, guys. Bye.